Hey everyone, Lauren from A Girl and Her Wool here. So today we are back with another Dye With Me, and it has been so long since I've said that. If you have been missing out on missing the Dye With Me's here on my YouTube channel, just know that I make them a part of my behind the scenes vlogs now. So I'm still doing Dye With Me's, I just don't do them formally like this so much anymore. But in the behind the scenes vlogs I always show dyeing, or I usually show dyeing and talk about the yarn, so make sure you guys are tuned into those if you are missing them. But today will be solely a Dye With Me, and I'm excited to show it to you. There's no associated Dye With Me club with this one. These are all going to be in the January shop update, and so yeah, I'm excited to talk about yarn dyeing with you guys today. So I've mentioned this in a few recent vlogs here and there that the January shop update is going to be like slightly different. One thing I just want to mention off the bat is, if you don't know, my hand-dyed yarn shop is at agirlandherwool.com, and I do monthly large shop updates. So on the first Saturday of every month, I load ready-to-ship skeins into the shop, as well as offer up my custom orders for the colors of the month. So you can order your any size skeins, sweater quantities, anything that's not available ready to ship in those colors, you can order through the custom order listings. And yeah, that's been going really great. But for January, I decided to change things up a little bit for a couple of reasons, and I'll talk about it more in the shop update vlog. So kind of the whole reason why I wanted to bring this up is normally the shop updates are the first Saturday of the month. The first Saturday of the month for January is New Year's Day, and so I ended up pushing it back a week, so it will be January 8th at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So that's when all of these skeins will get listed into the shop. So, and then the night before I will post a shop update vlog where you can see all of the yarn and the colors of the month, so you can start prepping and planning ahead of time. And so the footage that I recorded here for dyeing was originally going to be part of that shop update vlog, but I decided to break it apart separately because there's a lot I want to talk about with them, and I didn't want that kind of clogging up the shop update vlog. So again, if you look at past shop update vlogs, there may or may not be dyeing in them, but again, I kind of show the dyeing throughout the behind the scenes, so definitely make sure you guys are watching all videos. So yeah, so the January shop update will be a little bit different, and that is because I decided to do some one-of-a-kind skeins this month instead in the ready-to-ship part. Okay, so again, so the ready-to-ship, instead of having the ready-to-ship portion of the shop update in January be the colors of the month, they're actually going to be one-of-a-kind skeins, and that's what we're dyeing up here today. I don't show you every skein that I am dyeing up, and you can see they're all here behind me. So yeah, instead of kind of clogging up the shop update vlog with that, I'm going to show it here, and then yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing. We're going to be dyeing up some one-of-a-kind skeins. Some of them are batches, so I'm calling them one-of-a-kind, but they're technically 4 or 5 of a kind. But you'll kind of see what I mean when we're dyeing. So I wanted to just give kind of context around that. The other thing you're going to notice is I'm not dyeing white skeins, so that's the other part of it and why I'm doing it. So I guess I'm just explaining it here. But I had a lot of sweater quantities in stock of a couple of, to me, good sweater colors. But I don't honestly sell a lot of sweater quantities of 100-gram skeins in my shop. So instead of hoarding them, I decided to just kind of make them one-of-a-kind skeins instead. So I've left some in stock, taken ones that had a lot of quantity left, and we're over dyeing them into one-of-a-kind. So I thought that would be really fun. And yeah, so hopefully my inventory stays kind of lower quantity with more colors. And then of course, you know, through those custom orders, that's where you would order the sweater quantities. So again, kind of keeping up with all of the new changes and efficiencies that I'm building into the shop. So all right, let's kind of get to it. The bases that I'm using are pretty much my rose gold colorway, Pinot Noir, and Rose Tea. I can't remember which ones you see in the dyeing here. So I'm gonna show you guys the ones that we definitely over dyed on camera, and then I will save the others for the shop update vlog. Hey everyone, so here we are in the dye pans. So for this first batch, all of the base skeins here are my rose gold colorway. Again, I'm just over dyeing them because I have a lot in stock, and I'd rather kind of do some one-of-a-kinds here. So there are a lot of skeins in here. So the idea being that I'm not gonna like completely over dye all of them. You'll still get to see some of that rose gold base. And the dyes won't really move around a lot because it's so stuffed in that the dyes don't really have anywhere to go. So you kind of see me kind of applying the dye unevenly. I start in a corner, apply dye across, and I'm doing all different colors. The idea kind of being that, again, we're going to kind of create some one-of-a-kind skeins. So you can see on the left, the color, you can see it in the water, is very red. The color that I actually started on from the right side of the screen was kind of more of a dark blue. So again, it all kind of shows dark. And then I'm just gonna start applying random colors, quite honestly, across the skeins. And again, I'm not trying to be consistent here or anything. So we'll kind of apply dyes, let them set, move it around, apply more, and you'll see in the end that we kind of get this really cool rainbow colorway that still shows a lot of the rose gold base. So for this next batch, you see there's a lot less yarn. I also have them elongated instead of piled up. So on the bottom of what you guys see on the bottom, so really like for me, what was on the left side of the pan is rose gold. Again, these skeins were a little bit more of the lighter golden color. And versus on the right hand side, it was rose tea, which is kind of like a rose pink base with some browns in it. And I'm keeping this in real time, so it makes it look like I'm moving a lot slower than my other dyeing clips. That's because this is actually real time. So you can see I kind of did a blue across. So what we did in the last one was kind of things a bit more randomly. This I'm going to kind of try and keep colors a little bit more separated. So you see I kind of did that bright blue. Something to look out for is just kind of the difference in the bases. I'll kind of talk about that at the end. But the way that the colors kind of hit the two different like base colors was pretty different. So again, I kind of kept the red to the top, the blue kind of more in the middle on the bottom. They blend a little bit, but kind of mostly keeping them separate. The pan isn't as stuffed as the first batch, so the dyes, we're able to move a little bit more around, and they'll seep kind of underneath a little bit more than with the first batch. But yeah, kind of trying to keep colors a little bit separate, and then I kind of come in with purple across just to kind of, the blue and the purple, or the blue and the red will kind of blend then with the purple and kind of try to bring them together a little bit more. So that's what we're doing with this skein. I think I kind of keep the same idea throughout all the skeins and don't introduce more colors after this. So for this first colorway that we dyed, it was all rose gold that we were over dyeing, and I had a lot of yarn in the pan, which was just really nice because it held onto, you know, some of that rose gold base, but it was able to kind of mix and match the colors all over the place. And the way I kind of dyed these were really to be one of a kind. So even though they were all dyed together in the pan, I kind of dyed them like across. So I would do like a lot of a color in one corner and go across, do a different color kind of back, flip them around, kind of that idea. So they're all like related, but there are ones that look different from the others. So I'll kind of hold them up in groups. I have really no clue what order they were sitting in the pan in, but I put pretty much every color of the rainbow onto these skeins, and they're really pretty. Like, these skeins are so pretty. You get kind of that nice rose gold base, but then you just get seriously rainbow colors. So, and I'll also do a pan over of all of them, but you can kind of see these skeins have greens and blues, some of that hot pink that I put on there. And like, if you look at this section here, you get like yellows and greens here, and then right here is like the purples, oranges, and blues. Like, it's just so rainbowy. And even here in the skein you get so many different colors. I think it'll be so fun to see how you guys knit these up, because they're just gonna show all the colors. But I feel like when you look at them and hold them back, they have like a feel to it. They have kind of that rose gold brown kind of feel, but then the details are just so colorful. So again, none of these are really the same. This one has a lot of that hot pink. This one has a lot of the yellow, and so you kind of, they're all, you know, again, same idea. They're all that rose gold base with rainbow all over it, but then which colors are kind of all different. And then here are some more from that pan as well. So this one on top definitely got the brunt of the hot pink, but again, there's also lots of purple and dark blue in that one, some of the turquoise. This one is more purple and red and blue. And so this is just, you know, kind of taking it back to the dye with me. It's just a fun way, again, to kind of play with color and see how they all play together. Like, you know, rainbow colors are fun, but they can also, you know, they're very rainbowy. But then when you kind of throw them on this kind of somewhat of a darker base, you just kind of get like fun colors, and it's not, you know, in your face bright and everything, but in terms of knitting a fun pair of socks or shawl or hat, you know, it kind of creates some fun accents and pops. So again, that's that first one that we did. I love like kind of doing that technique of having the pan and kind of doing different colors across. I've talked about that here and there. I did it in the December Yarn Club. So if you go back to the December Yarn Club reveal vlog, you'll be able to see me dyeing. And in particular for those mini skeins, I kept all 5 in the series in one pan and just kind of dyed a gradient across. And that was a really fun way to do it. I did this a lot for the advents, for the gradient advent. It's just like a fun new technique that I've been using, of having a lot of yarn in the pan so that the colors don't move around too much and don't blend around too much because it's so stuffed in there, but then just playing with different colors across. And I've done that too in a dye with me vlog back in the day, where I dyed multiple gradients across, and it kind of came up with a cool way to just see how different colors again play with each other. So I'll be snapping photos of some of these just so I have them to have in my arsenal to kind of look back on, to use as inspiration for the future, which is really how I use one-of-a-kind skeins. And it's good. I'm glad I'm using this shop update to play in that way, because a lot of times with creating repeatable colors, it's easy to stay safe, and then when you just kind of make one-of-a-kinds and you take the pressure off, it's just so nice to just kind of see how the different dyes interact. So that's that first one that we did. And the one last thing that I wanted to mention about that first batch is, you know, as you're dyeing it looks like you're adding a lot of dyes. And again, because I had the pans like so packed with yarn, and I talk about it a lot, there's so much yarn underneath that it doesn't necessarily hit every bit of the skein. So again, you still see a lot of, you know, the rose gold base in there, and you just kind of get the random bits of the colors. So so yeah, I just kind of wanted to mention that as well. All right, so for the second batch that I showed you guys, this one was, there were fewer skeins in the pan. I also had them more elongated instead of piled up. I did use rose gold and rose tea as the base color, so slightly different colors, so we'll kind of see how that plays into it. But I also kind of sectioned off the colors, so they blended a little bit just because there was less yarn in the pan, but kind of did less random colors all over the place and kind of dyed everything pretty similarly to each other. So we'll take a look at that one. All right, and for these, you can definitely tell the two different colored bases, which I think is really fun. So I'll just hold them up quickly and show you that part, and then we'll kind of talk about them in particular. So in this hand here, and again, I'll do pan over in pictures if you can't really see. So in this hand here, these were all of the rose tea ones. So they're kind of darker. The red kind of became more purples and everything like that. And then in this hand, it's much lighter, and this was the rose gold base. So again, I'll put in pictures so you guys can see it. Maybe if I zoom in close, like, so see, you get more purple. Now it's gonna blow it out. More purples here, and then more of the golds here, which was interesting. So yeah, we'll put some, maybe there you can kind of see, right? So much darker here, much lighter here. So here for this one, we did a lot of reds, we did the bright blues, and then there's also like some purples in there and some darker colors. So again, on the rose tea base, which is a pink and brown base, it just kind of looks a lot of the purple. You get a lot of the purple. There is section where you see the red specifically and the blue specifically, but overall to me, these are like purple skeins that have like some red in them and some bright blue. Whereas in these skeins, you keep kind of the lighter gold base, which makes a lot of the blues look greens, and then the reds kind of just stand out as reds. And again, for this one, it's just not showing it great, so I'm going to add some photos and then showing them kind of like side by side here. The one on top was the rose tea base, and the one on the bottom was the gold base. So yeah, so they're blown out, but you can definitely tell that there's a difference. So something that to keep in mind here is I kind of did like a red with like a brighter blue. And so so again, I kept them pretty separate, so you can kind of see them separate, right? So there's a lot of the red, and then you get a lot of the bright blue. Didn't really let them blend too much. So kind of a different take than I did for the other one, where the colors kind of were all mixed and muddled together. I mean, in the skein, you see the separate rainbow colors, but I didn't, you know, there's like a blue and here, kind of the blue and yellow, you get kind of a taste of the green on there, right? So kind of that's what I'm talking about. Whereas here, they're really more separated. So anyway, I thought that was a fun one to show as well. So kind of the other one had a lot of colors all over the place. This one had a few colors in certain sections. And then of course we have the contrast of the different colored bases. Okay, so my camera I think got cut off right at the end of my sentence there, but that's really it for in terms of what I recorded to show you guys. There are two other batches of one of a kinds that I dyed that are completely different, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that shop update vlog on January 7th. And then again, these skeins will all be listed in the shop on January 8th at 10 a.m. Eastern time at agirlandherwool.com. So a nice kind of getting it out with the dye with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will, you know, see you guys, and Nacho and I will see you guys soon. I'm going to be doing some business reflection, you know, 2021 reflections and 2022 goals soon. and then we'll kind of be heading into the new year. So yes, have a great rest of 2021. Hope you all bring in the new year in a fun and safe way, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.